So South Africa's science prowess was on full display during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was our leading biotechs and epidemiologists at the forefront of genome testing, among other impressive feats. This time, our scientists are making strides in space exploration with the groundbreaking Square Kilometre Array project in the Northern Cape. Newzroom Afrika's Natalie Malgas is at the World Science Forum to tell us what it is you are seeing and hearing. Good morning.
Thanks so much, Dudu. We've been at the World Science Forum for the last week now, and every day just gets bigger and more exciting. In fact, right now we are sitting in what I'm calling the science corridor, because there's the Aeronautical Society and developments and research in all things space in each of these cubicles. This one right here is the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory, and they've been doing some great work for several years now, but this has been a particularly significant week for the observatory because there's been groundbreaking innovations being done. In the next 5 years, close on 200 telescopes will be going up in parts of the Northern Cape to quite literally deep dive into parts of space that very few people have researched or even gained access to. I'm now joined by the MD of the Radio Astronomy Observatory. Ma'am, let's talk about that massive project that kicked off on Monday. How significant is it really? I understand it's a partnership between South Africa and Australia. What's it all about?
So the SK project was conceptualized to be built in two countries. One, the low-frequency antennas are being built in Australia, and the mid-frequency antennas are being built in South Africa. So the partnership, and then we have the head office of the observatory in the UK. So we have a global project that has presence in South Africa and is contributing to building the science system in South Africa.
So our scientists will be collecting, what we're hearing here is big data, gaining access to parts of different stratospheres that no human has even gone to. What is the point of it all? How useful would that information be?
So, the astronomy in itself adds value to society in the sense that it makes us understand the universe and therefore has actually contributed quite a bit to a lot of the technology development that we take for granted every day. So I think that for a developing country like South Africa to get involved in projects like this means that we challenge our engineers, we challenge our scientists to do really difficult things, and in being able to do difficult things, it means that we can use those same skills to actually do other things that support our development as a country.
We're learning here at the World Science Forum that our scientists are on par with the world's best. Would you say we've got the most elite and biggest brains working on this project out in the Northern Cape?
So I can tell you that when South Africa started building the Malgas telescope, which is the precursor or the pathfinder for SKA, I don't think a lot of people believed we could do it. In fact, a lot of people told us we cannot do it. And I think we managed to hire some of the best engineers and scientists who worked following very high standards in terms of systems engineering, and came up with requirements and built a telescope that all scientists around the world have really, really praised us for.
And of course the data that will be collected would be useful to other science societies and science councils. Yeah. They'd be able to tap into the kind of research we're doing here?
Yes. So the data that will be available from the telescope will be based on us issuing out a call to say what science do you want to do with the instrument that we have. These get reviewed by panels. They decide on the best projects that we should support, and then the telescope gets tasked then to do those observations. And you will have, as has always happened with astronomy, scientists working across the globe from different parts of the world, working together with South African scientists that we have actually funded and developed over the past 20 years.
Ma'am, what is unique about the Northern Cape? There are quite a few different science projects running parallel to each other. Why is it the Northern Cape that was the chosen spot for all of this?
This particular area was really suitable because, first of all, it is radio quiet, so we do not want a lot of radio noise. If you put it up here in Cape Town, there's just too many devices that would cause a lot of noise and disturb the telescope. So the Northern Cape is really radio quiet, and because of the climate there, it's really dry, so it has really unique features that suit this particular instrument to be located there.
Let's talk a bit about the granular detail of this project. Exactly how many telescopes will be going out and over what stretch? I understand it's thousands of hectares of land that you've had to acquire to get this project off the ground.
So the Meerkat telescope now has 64 dishes, and as you know, it's already an operational telescope. Over the next 5 years, we'll be adding another 133 dishes, and then we will end up with close almost 200 dishes that will be on site. These will stretch to as much as 150 kilometers. So most of the dishes will be in the core, and then you'll keep adding spiral arms, 3 spiral arms that will stretch, the distance from the core.
What does this mean, particularly in terms of job creation? And for the people in the Northern Cape, we know it's one of the poorer provinces in South Africa. Are they able to get involved, and particularly around the issue of representation? Will young girls be allowed and granted access to this project?
So from the beginning, the project has worked on empowering the community in different areas. Firstly, with our education program, where we have fund bursaries at schools to support learners that want to do mathematics and science. We hire mathematics and science teachers for the high school in Carnarvon. We also provide then for those who get accepted into university to again do STEM careers. We also fund them throughout their career until they become hopefully doctors of science. So we've been funding them. And then on the construction side, we also work with small businesses in the area, have empowered them, provided them with skills, made sure that they are ready to be subcontractors to the major contractors that will be hired in the area.
MD, I have to ask, much of the Northern Cape is traditional grounds. What is the environmental aspect, and have many of those vast tracts of land been conserved and protected?
So we did obviously an environmental impact assessment that guided us on how we should use and maintain the environment in the area. But not only that, we've actually partnered with SANParks. They've already declared the site a national park, and SANParks will actually be managing the site on behalf of the observatory, and also doing environmental research, because we can return it to its pristine condition because we limit the activities that can be done on site.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Dulu, as you heard, just fleshing out all of those very exciting developments that will result from the telescope and the scientific work that will be conducted in the Northern Cape in partnership with SANParks, just to make sure that those vast tracts of land, thousands of hectares of land that's been bought up to put all of these telescopes, don't disturb the natural biodiversity.
Natalie, Malgas, thank you very much for